In the quiet evening of August 23, 1972, around 5:30 p.m., a couple embarked on a journey up a dimly lit dirt track off Penny Creek Road in Snohomish County, Washington. During that time, the area was devoid of any developments or bustling strip malls, with only serene evergreens and sprawling farmland as far as the eye could see. Their original intention was to indulge in some target shooting, but their plans took an unexpected turn when they encountered a fallen tree obstructing their path along the dirt road. Stepping out of their vehicle to clear the obstruction, their shock knew no bounds when they discovered a gravely wounded woman lying nearby.
Came across a log that was across the road. When they got out of the vehicle to move the log, they saw a body lying approximately 15 feet beyond that log.
Her life was slipping away, inflicted by a devastating gunshot wound to her head. In the depths of the woods, Jody Loomis, a young woman of 20 years, was found lying amidst the trees, clad only in her panties, high socks, and sturdy dark boots, reminiscent of the waffle stomper style. Tragically, her life had been abruptly taken by a gunshot wound inflicted just above her right ear, caused by a .22 caliber pistol. Based on reports from the Herald Net, it was revealed that despite her critical condition, Jody managed to cling to life. However, due to her inability to communicate, the couple who discovered her swiftly rushed her to Stevens Hospital, now known as Swedish Edmonds, in an attempt to save her. Unfortunately, upon arrival, she was pronounced dead.
When they got to the hospital, it appeared that she was still alive, but by the time they were able to start examining her, she was deceased.
Typically, it was Jody's parents who would accompany her on the drive to the horse stable, dropping her off safely. However, on that fateful day, Jody made the independent decision to venture to the stable on her own, opting to ride her trusty 10-speed bicycle instead. For countless decades, the heinous murder of Jody remained shrouded in mystery, eluding resolution and casting a haunting shadow over both her grieving family and the dedicated investigators tirelessly seeking justice. Throughout the passage of numerous years, investigators displayed unwavering determination as they tirelessly pursued every lead in the investigation. They went to great lengths, even distributing playing cards in jails, in the hopes that someone would eventually step forward with crucial information. As time progressed, the investigation gradually transitioned into a cold case, but for both the investigators and the Loomis family, a flicker of hope continued to burn brightly. At the crime scene, DNA evidence was discovered on Jody's body, as well as on the heel of her boot. This crucial evidence was carefully preserved for nearly half a century until it was eventually submitted for genetic genealogy identification. Remarkably, the DNA was linked to a family member of a 78-year-old man named Terrence Miller. With this breakthrough, the police had successfully narrowed down their search and honed in on a potential suspect. In the year 2019, the Snohomish County Sheriff's Department made a significant breakthrough in the case when they apprehended Terrence Miller and formally charged him with first-degree murder.
Yesterday, we arrested a 77-year-old Edmonds man. He's suspected of murdering 20-year-old Jody Loomis in 1972. His name is Terrence Miller. He was charged with murder in the first degree yesterday afternoon.
Astonishingly, Miller was residing in Edmonds, Washington, a mere 17-minute drive away from the location where Jody's tragic murder had taken place over 4 decades prior. Through meticulous investigation, law enforcement managed to collect Terrence Miller's DNA from a discarded coffee cup. This crucial breakthrough led to a significant discovery when the DNA obtained from the coffee cup was ultimately matched to the semen that had been previously collected from Jody's boots. According to the Seattle Times, Terrence Miller had faced accusations of sex crimes on at least 5 separate occasions since the 1960s. In a statement, Snohomish County Sheriff Ty Trenary expressed the profound significance of the breakthrough. After more than 46 years of relentless searching for her killer, we have finally provided Jody's family with some much-needed answers. Thanks to the unwavering dedication of our cold case team and the advancements in DNA technology, we have taken a significant stride towards achieving justice for Jody. Tragically, just hours before Miller could be convicted by a jury, he took his own life.
Kansas City police have solved a 31-year-old murder case. Fawn Cox was just 16 years old, and tonight we know the person responsible for her rape and murder was her own cousin.
On that fateful day, July 26, 1989, tragedy struck the life of Fawn Cox, a young girl only 16 years old. In the safety of her bedroom, she became the victim of a heinous crime, enduring the unimaginable horrors of rape and strangulation. The morning was marred by her alarm ringing incessantly, but Fawn did not rise to silence it. It was her mother and little sister who ventured into her room, their hearts filled with concern, only to discover the devastating truth. Fawn lay lifeless, her spirit stolen away from this world. Fawn's sister, Felisa Cox, recounted the heartbreaking moment. I went over to shake her, saying, "Come on, get up!" But it was already too late, she said, her voice filled with sorrow and disbelief.
That's not fair. That's the first thing I think is not fair.
Fawn was a dedicated junior at Northeast High School, balancing her studies with a part-time job as a cashier at Worlds of Fun, an amusement park in Kansas City. On that fateful evening, she had worked until 11 p.m. and returned home, exhausted, ready to rest. The night passed in an eerie silence, as the family's air conditioners hummed softly, masking any sounds that might have hinted at the tragedy unfolding in Fawn's bedroom. However, Felisa vividly recalls the family dog's unusual restlessness that evening, a behavior they attributed to the dog's pregnancy, unaware of the true darkness lurking just beyond their awareness. According to Sergeant Ben Caldwell of the Kansas City Police Department, the choice of that particular home and window where the perpetrator entered undetected suggests a certain familiarity with Fawn. Sergeant Ben Caldwell has deduced that the assailant discreetly gained access to Fawn's bedroom by entering through a window on the second floor. The unresolved nature of Fawn's murder has inflicted immeasurable anguish upon her family. Felisa Cox, Fawn's sister, expressed the indescribable pain they endure, stating, "It's beyond awful. There are no words to explain it. The lack of closure is unbearable." She further lamented the fact that while someone out there continues to lead a normal life, Fawn was denied the opportunity to do the same, a thought that haunts Felisa every single day. In their relentless pursuit of justice, Fawn's family took a bold step in 2000 by offering a $3,000 reward, hoping that it would incentivize someone to come forward with information leading to the identification of her killer. Fawn's mother, Beverly Cox, acknowledged the power of money in such circumstances, stating, "Money does do a lot on the streets. That's what we're hoping and praying for." Driven by their unwavering determination, Fawn's family waged a years-long battle to have advanced DNA techniques utilized in the investigation.
What do you think it will take to solve this case? DNA, definitely. They haven't. I mean, there was no other evidence there. Whoever did it did a good job at taking everything with them. What they didn't take was DNA.
They organized fundraisers, even expressing their willingness to bear the financial burden themselves as the Kansas City Police Department faced budgetary constraints. Eventually, their persistence paid off when the FBI stepped in and graciously covered the costs of the crucial testing, providing a glimmer of hope in their arduous quest for answers. After enduring years of uncertainty, the family's perseverance finally yielded results when advanced DNA techniques were employed. However, the outcome they received was far from what they had anticipated. As stated in a press release by the Kansas City Police Department, during the summer of 2020, Operation Legend was introduced in Kansas City. This initiative brought an influx of federal resources to the department, empowering them to harness the power of advanced DNA technology in their pursuit of justice. Through the utilization of genealogy DNA testing, law enforcement was able to analyze the unidentified suspect's DNA profile and compare it to various national databases. This innovative approach allowed them to construct a comprehensive family tree, ultimately narrowing down the search to a select group of potential culprits. As a result of these breakthrough investigations, it was revealed that the perpetrator responsible for the crime was none other than Donald Cox Jr., who happened to be Fawn's cousin and was approximately 5 years older than her. However, the pursuit of justice was met with an unfortunate twist. Donald had met an untimely demise in 2006 under suspicious circumstances that were ultimately determined to be the result of foul play. The investigators who had previously worked on Donald Cox Jr.'s death case had taken the proactive step of preserving a blood sample from their investigation. In a significant breakthrough, the DNA from this preserved blood sample was extracted by the crime lab staff. This DNA was then compared to a DNA profile obtained from bodily fluid collected from Fawn's bedroom back in 1989. Astonishingly, the results revealed a conclusive match between the two samples. The family has come to understand that receiving answers can be a double-edged sword. It brings a sense of relief to finally have closure, Felisa expressed. However, it's important to acknowledge that the answers we receive may not always align with what we were hoping for. Nonetheless, there is a sense of closure.